Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. Welcome to another episode of Grade the Market. He is Jacob Eric. I'm Anthony Turk, the dynamic duo, the ones that never fool you. We took a break for a bit. It's Saturday, 2 o'clock during the summer, right? Family stuff is happening, and family comes first. So we had to take a little bit of a break, but we're back. Glad to be back. Before we get down into business, just want to make sure that you subscribe, and after watching the show, make sure that you hit the like button, even if you don't like the show. Right? I joke around, say, "Hey, sometimes I don't like my wife, but I still gotta watch and like all the episodes, right?" So, also, another bit of business before we continue. Just want to send a shout out to MCS Contracting for allowing us to do what we do. So I appreciate Chris and his guys. If you need any work, any help from those guys, you can reach out to them at 210-774-9155. Um, so without further ado, Jacob Eric, the man. What you got, man? How you been, bro?
I've been doing good, man. Been doing good. It's nice to be back, bro. And I would like Anthony, or like you were saying, man, we haven't been here in a while. Full transparency. Just so that y'all know, yeah, I did have a death in the family, and that's why we've been out for a little bit. I had my Uncle Juan, passed away. He was a big Spurs fan. He would always come down for the finals and stuff like that from California. But yeah, that's the reason why Anthony and I took a little break from grading the market. For those of y'all who have my phone number and stuff like that, y'all pretty much knew what was going on throughout this whole time and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah. But yeah, we're back. We're back. Everything is good, man. How you been, Anthony?
Good, good, man. I think that it's a cool story. You told me about Theo, right? And Theo will hit you up, and when the Spurs were in the final, was like, "Hey, nephew, I know you got me right," and you took care of it, man. So hearing those kind of stories, especially from you, is it hits us in certain places, man, and speaks volumes to your tightness with them and what you thought of them, man. So I
Yeah, yeah. It was
appreciate you sharing that with me.
Yeah, yeah, it was funny, man. Like Anthony was saying, and like I'm just going on every time the Spurs would make the finals, and if I was in town, like my uncle Juan, he would call down. He would be like, "Hey nephew, you got me right," and I'll be like, "Oh my goodness!" And I was like, "This is going to be expensive." And for those of y'all who don't know, like the easiest way to get like finals tickets is you have to purchase or you agree to like season tickets for the following year, and then you get like dibs on finals tickets. So I would have to be like, "Oh yeah," so I would have to go and like agree to get season tickets for like the next year. It would allow me to get dibs for the finals for that time. My uncle Juan would come down, but hey, we would check out the finals, and he had a good time. He was a huge Spurs fan, man. It was something. It just happened suddenly, unexpected, but yeah, it happens. Life happens.
It's about the memories, bro.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, on tap for today, um, we're gonna discuss the Nationals. Um, we're gonna discuss a trade deadline in baseball. Who picked up who? Uh, I know. I know the Padres made a move that I'm not a Padres fan, but I'm kind of disappointed in them. Then we got Micah and Terry wanting out of their respective teams. We had the Hall of Fame coming up, Hall of Fame game on Thursday, and then those getting inducted. Uh, really core, uh, good core guys going in my opinion. And I know that you got some Manu cards you want to share with us, Jacob. So so let's dive right into it, man. The Nationals in Chicago. You brought them, to my attention. Just like you brought everything into in this. card world to my attention. So the Nationals, Jacob, what's it about? Um, if you go, what should you expect to do? What's the experience like over there that you know of?
Yeah, so like you were saying, that the Nationals did kick off the other day. It ends tomorrow, and the Nationals, for all of y'all who aren't familiar with it, it's the National Sports Collectors Convention. It happens once a year. It's the hugest card show, like, of the year, pretty much. Everybody gets together. You have all the big dogs, Fanatics, Panini, Golden, I'm pretty sure shows up and stuff like that. You have a whole bunch of former and current players show up and they make appearances and stuff like that. I know they usually do a huge door prizes and stuff like that. You know, they could do rips and stuff like that. All the big collectors usually just show up, and it's just if you've been to one card show, man, you've been to all of them. But this is just the biggest one. It's this year. It's over in was it Rosemont, Illinois, which is pretty much right outside of Chicago. I was actually planning on going. For those of y'all who follow me, I know I was been spending a little bit of time, or I was spending a little bit of time in the Cincinnati area, and if I was still there, I was actually going to make that drive up to the Nationals, but unfortunately, work did call me back, so to San Antonio. But it happens. But yeah, so that's what it is. It's the biggest card show of the year. Like I said, everybody gets together. Um, all the big guys, all the big collectors, they get there. Um, I know like Miguel Cabrera was there earlier today. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe like Wemby would show up or something like that.
So
Yeah.
I saw the list. The list is huge, right? And obviously these guys aren't going to go there um, without some sort of benefit. And Bo Jackson is there signing autographs, taking pictures. Um, and then the one that like caught my eye was Patrick Ewing. Like, how
Yeah.
awesome would that be? For any a guy from your team, a guy that you looked up to from childhood, right? To be there to meet him. You're talking about $400, just to just to shake his hand and get his autograph. But definitely would have been a super cool experience. I saw also that you know they've got um, like a trade floor. I think it's sponsored by PSA. So guys just go in there, start trading away stuff. Um, yes, and yesterday, last night, I saw a guy post a picture that he picked up of a card that he picked up uh, from uh, uh, from the Nationals. It was a Terrell Davis. It was a Fleer. I didn't get I remember the name of the card, but the cool part about it is that I've seen patches. We've all seen patches. The patch on this card was on the back. The entire card was an official NFL football cutout. I was like, holy crap! And it was graded. I think it was it came back at like a 9.5. That was a maybe even a 10. But that was a pretty sick, cool looking card. So it just opened up my imagination. I was like, man, what else was there? Like, what else could you see there?
Hmm. They actually, I know when Wemby very first came out, they actually that was one of his very first cards came out with like a door prize or something like that. I actually did see one of those cards. It was recently here in San Antonio at a shop over on the west side, man. But that card was going for like a couple of grand. It was actually a really nice card. I think it was like a prism type style card. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man. So the Nationals going this weekend. It finishes tomorrow, stuff like that. But it's just like I said, it's just the time of the year where all the collectors they all get together. So if you've been seeing an unusual amount of cards on your social lately or stuff like that, or people showing off different kinds of heat and stuff like that, that's where it's coming from. They're coming from the Nationals, and you see people, collectors, they run into each other, they take pictures with each other, like, oh, look who I met, look who I ran into, and stuff like that. It's just a good time. It's just a nice celebration, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I bet. It'd be cool to it'd be cool to go. I can't imagine that, with all the coolness going around, that you probably, people are also there. They're paying for a kiosk, they're paying for a table, they're paying for a spot. So
Mhm.
um, I could only imagine that you got a lot of people, not necessarily like harassing you, but that to me would maybe like take away from the experience a bit. But that's just me personally. Um,
Yeah. You know, and also, man, you got to be careful because we hear it every single year coming from the Nationals. There's stories, man, where you got to be, when it brings out the big collectors, you know, it also brings out like the big time, I don't want to say like scammers, but like the thieves and stuff like that. So they got to be very vigilant and stuff like that. It happens, you'll see like video later on where they were like, hey, does anybody know who these two or three guys are or something like that? And uh they'll just catch somebody slipping and stuff like that. They'll maybe swipe something from a table or something like that. But you know you just got to be careful. But I'm pretty sure the Nationals, that they're pretty good with controlling, or getting better with stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, I would think so. Um, yeah, definitely experience that. Something that I'd like to experience. You know, Sooner rather than later, right?
There you go. Maybe we can
Um,
meet up next year at the Nationals, stuff like that. Tell Rudy to get us our credentials and stuff like that. Where you at, Rudy? Where you at, dog?
just saying, you know what I'm saying? Hey, like Jacob Berg says, we don't ask for much,
We don't
right?
ask for much here at Great of the Market. We don't ask for much. Just get his credentials to the Nationals. That's it. That's all we want. We don't ask for much here.
Yeah, jeez, that's like we're asking for a Lamborghini or something. Hey, but so speaking of trades, right? We had the MLB trade deadline come and go. Um, uh, Off the top of my head, I can think of a couple, right? My Yanks and your Pods. The the Yankees picked up a group of guys during the trade deadline, and I think three of them played a part in the debacle of last night's game, in um, in the loss to the Miami Marlins. Right, a team that come on, are they really a Major League Baseball team? They Closer came in, gave up a bunch of hits. Um,
Mm-hmm.
New outfielder fumbled the ball, allowed 2 runs to come in and tie the game. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it, their start to um, their life as a Yankee couldn't have gotten off to a worse start, right? So anyway, those are the guys the Yankees picked up. But to me, the even bigger deal was um, this kid named Leo DeVry. I I got some. Let me know if you can see these, Jacob.
Yeah, I can check it out. I can see it.
So this kid, Leo DeVry, is 18 years old, right? Um, picked up by picked up by the Padres. I'm just gonna go over some stuff here. Um, he was invited to the All Star Futures game in this year's All Star game. He's viewed as the number one prospect in Major League Baseball. Um, and there was a stat here. I'm gonna get lost. Uh, Arizona became the young. He became the youngest player to hit a home run in the Arizona Fall League since Bryce Harper in 2010. Um, in 2025, April 22nd of this year, he hit for a cycle against the Lugnuts and tied a club record with 8 RBIs in a single game.
Oh,
Right? This is and this is an 18-year-old, and the Padres traded that away.
yeah.
I mean, I just don't. I get it. Some of these managers in baseball, they're not us, right? They're Hollywood producers that they see talent and beauty come and go, and to them it's like us going to a gas station and deciding what drink to get.
It's always
It's
easy when you put your general manager hat on, man. And it doesn't matter when that's any sport. Any sport, we can just put our GM hat on. Here closer to home, when Spurs fans put their GM hat on, man, they start GMing, dude. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's always going to be pluses or minuses. Hey, why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? You know what I mean? And that's
yeah,
pretty much what happens.
and um, I, full disclosure, I always get excited like when it's like a Dominican player, right? If I find out the dude's like Dominican, there's like an extra layer of spice, right? That I add to it to
Mm,
my excitement. I don't know, maybe because I just never heard of him, or I mean, I seen his card um, earlier this year, like those that I just showed, and he wasn't even on a team. It just read as like international,
mm,
right? The card itself. So didn't think much of it. I thought it was cool that it read international, so I just sort of like set them aside. Um, and then like later on, I listed them and I saw people were like picking them up, so I hit pause on all the other ones that I had for sale,
mm,
and I started looking into this kid, and that's when I saw this stuff. I was like, and I just looked at the numbers. I saw where he was playing, and from the name, I don't know why I thought he was like Filipino or something,
mm,
but it's still like this like excitement about this kid. I was like, man, like I'm picturing him in San Diego, with Machado, with El Nino, and now you add this kid, and I'm like, oh my god, this Filipino kid, right? And then not until like 2 or 3 days ago, I found out he was Dominican. I was like, oh,
mm.
oh,
That's what's up. Go get his jersey. I always like that
man.
kid.
So yeah, so I was kind of I was upset, for you because I know that's your team, and then upset they got traded. He didn't go to the Yankees.
Yeah,
So
we ended up getting Mason Miller, man. So from the A's, um,
yeah,
closer. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to start chasing some of his rookie cards, maybe. Um, but yeah, I know he got his. He made his got his
did
first
you?
strikeout last night. Yeah, with the
Okay.
Padres, whatever. Struck a dude out. He's throwing 103-mile-an-hour fastball, bro. That's how he took him out. 103. And I was like, that's straight
Dang.
gas, bro. That's don't blink. That thing is gonna go right by you. But yeah, everybody's excited for the Padres, man. It seems like at the trade deadline, some people have described it as, and I'll even say it too. I was talking with my brother about this last night. Kind of seemed like the Padres went all in, as much as they could have. They didn't make any like too huge trades, but they filled up. They took care of some holes that they needed to take care of. Catcher stuff like that, and then
I
especially
mean,
with
I,
that.
I I get it. It's all about beating the Dodgers. So you got
That's
to do
pretty
what
much
you got
what
to
it
do,
is.
man. But man, I don't know. I mean, and the kid could turn out to be a dud, right? Who knows? But
Never
it
know. It
sucks being excited for a guy and then um,
happens a lot in the MLB world, especially when we see somebody like a prospect and stuff like that. We're like, oh man, this kid is nice and stuff like that. We go all in on his card and stuff like that, and the next thing you know, that kid is finds himself he just stuck like in Double A or something like that forever or something.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
It
don't.
happens. It happens.
Yeah, the
Especially in
last one I
MLB.
yeah the last one I can remember like that was Drew Jones. I don't know if you
Hmm.
remember Drew Jones, but that
Yeah,
kid was
definitely.
like, man, like I'm pretty sure I got like a fake autograph. Like it was in person, first Bowman, Drew
Hmm.
Jones. It was
Hmm.
like $20. I picked it up. I took a gamble. Then I'm waiting to see him like when he comes into you know the league. If he starts lighting it up once he's in the big leagues, I'll send it up for authentication and grading.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
like you always say, man. It happens.
it happens, especially like I said in the MLB world, man. It happens a lot. There's a lot of players, bro. I know the last one for me that I think that I got excited about was, and not that he's no disrespect to him, not that he's like hasn't panned out, but it's still like early was C.J. Abrams. Uh,
Yeah,
he was with the Padres, and I think they got traded to the Nationals. I think he was part of the what was it the
he was.
Soto
Yeah,
back
he
in
was.
the
So
back
he
in the
was.
day.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about that where it was not Abrams. Why is his name slipping my mind?
Who's somebody part of that trade or no?
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's a kid that went to the
It was a
Nationals.
lot. It was a lot that had went over there. Stuff like that.
Yeah. His name is um sorry guys. Maybe it was CJ Abrams. I
No,
don't
it,
know.
it was CJ. I think. Yeah, he was just a
Was
favorite of
it was
mine.
it no, 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 no. James Wood.
Oh yeah, James Wood too. Yeah, he also went over. That's why. But every time, still I do it to this day when you see it like a CJ Abrams card or something like that pops up, a nice one too. I'll just throw a quick comment in there. It's like, damn man, I can't believe we
Yeah,
had to let that kid go. He was
yeah,
nice, but
yeah.
we got El Nino, so I know they were playing the
Hey
same.
man, speaking of letting people go, right? It's sort of in your neck of the woods. Is uh is Jera is Jera gonna let go of Micah?
Mika Parsons ain't going anywhere, dude. Yeah, so I know where Anthony's going with this. I think it was what yesterday when it broke where Mika Parsons jumped on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days, and posted a long message request
Yo,
or informing everybody, letting
he left
everybody
him
know
a
that he
dear
requested a trade. You know what I mean? And
he left him a Dear John letter, bro.
it
He
was
was-
it was that was kind of crazy, bro. It was wild, but no, man. Honestly, all right. You know what? I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen, and then I'm going to tell you like what would probably be in the best interest of the Cowboys, I guess maybe. But I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Um,
it's a
Jer-
tactic.
yeah, Jerry Jones and the Cowboy organization, they still have Mika Parsons for like the next 3 years. He's under contract this year. They can always franchise tag him for the 2 more years and stuff like that. Not saying that he wouldn't be happy, but it's something that they could do. You know what I mean? And I do think it's probably just a tactic. He's not the only one who did this. Who was the other kid who did it the day before?
This
Was
you
it?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin.
yeah. There you go. He did it as well. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think that at the end of the day, I think they'll all get it worked out. However, however, let's just what if, just a what if, you know. And I tell people this, and I'm gonna put on my Cowboys GM hat on.
I'm pointing to the team above my head.
Okay, do that too. What if? What if they do? What if they decide to trade him? What if they take like just calls? You know, and you know what? They probably are. Just fielding calls, be like, and they just get thrown like this a haul. You know what I mean? Like just an I'm gonna give them a what do they call it? What do they call it on The Godfather? I'm gonna make them an offer they can't
Well,
refuse.
no, no, for they can refuse.
Can't refuse. And the Cowboys take it. Let's say they get like 2 or 3 first rounders or stuff like that, players and things go on with that. Dude, the Cowboys would be pretty dangerous in like 2 or 3 years from now, dude. Really dangerous. and they wouldn't
Yeah.
have to pay Micah that whole, because Micah's going to get paid, dude. He's going to get like what, like 43, 44. You know what I mean? That's taking there's a cap in the NFL. That's taken away from the rest of the team too. You got to remember that's money that you could spend in other areas. But if they were able to do that, just I wouldn't necessarily say dump them, but just dump that and then just see what they get in return. Get some first rounders, dude.
I'm gonna take off my Giants fandom hat for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just look at it as if from a NFL perspective.
Mm-hmm.
This is uh, it's not similar, right? But the sort of point of the Giants, the Giants paying Daniel Jones and not paying Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
You're essentially kind of looking at the same. How do you pay Dak? What's Dak done for you? What records is what what has Dak broken besides his leg? You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Micah Parsons, he's got like 3 players above him that have more sacks than he does in his first 4 years. Reggie White being one of them. And I don't know if I saw what's his name from ESPN. Their um, Adam Adam Schefter.
Schefter.
He's like he's talking about Micah Parsons, right? And when he's describing him, he's like, "Oh, the Cowboys. How do you?" He's dressing it up. He knows that this is just um, a contracting thing that he's doing, a tactic. But he refers to him as like, "Oh, how did Cowboys give up a Pro Bowler?" And I'm scratching my head. Why would he call him a Pro Bowler? This dude is what, a 2, 3 times All Pro, first team All Pro. And but you're gonna, so I'm scratching my head. It's like, man, it's like Jerry like talking to Adam like, hey, don't hype him up too much, right? I just I don't know that little
He
piece
brought him into
of
the
his,
yacht.
right? So now Micah Parsons is and I could be wrong. He doesn't strike me as a guy that he gets paid and he's just gonna Albert Hainsworth a team. That dude is special. That dude is nasty. His motor is from the first quarter to the fourth. You got a game plan around this guy, right? Pretty much freeing up all the 10 other guys on defense to sort of be one-on-one, where Micah is sort of eating up a lot of what they're doing, to attack them on defense. I just don't get why Jerry would even attempt to, piss this guy off.
That's normal though. That's normal. Look, the same thing happened last year with CD Lamb, stuff like that. Like, or this is normal negotiation tactic from the Cowboys. They do this all the time. You know what I mean? This isn't the first time we've seen this. I'm not a Cowboy fan, but just being here, being that they're so close to home, this is normal. We've seen it, and they just wait so long that it always hurts them at the end of the day, and they end up having to pay more and more and more. And they're like, you could have settled this a long time ago. Why did you even let it come to this? You know what I mean?
I mean, who knows, right? It could just be they've already got a deal like worked out, and Jerry's like, "Hey, Micah, here's the deal. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Hey, let's just play this out like this in the media, right? Just so that the word Cowboys is constantly coming out of people's lips."
Yeah, I wouldn't put that past him either, because Jerry loves to be in the news, man. You know what I mean? He's the only owner that I know who does his post game conference. You know what I mean? At right there in the hallway. I mean, he loves the camera, bro. Like, he loves being in the news.
He's a pretty good actor.
Yeah,
You know?
oh, that was fast. You're right. That was, I know exactly what you're talking about. That thing, man, give him the Oscar, bro. That thing was pretty good, dude. I'm not gonna lie. But no, yeah, this is normal though. That's what I want to say. This is just normal. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I think it's kind of silly. I don't know what the intention behind it all is, but they could have handled it other ways and stuff like that. But at the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah.
day, like I said, I think they're going to get it worked out. I think you know Mika will be
If
well. He's going to stay.
if it's like, yeah, if it's a publicity thing, um, let's just say that that's the case, right?
Mhm,
Yeah, that's cool. People are talking, but then, and not maybe necessarily for defense, right? But when you're talking about an offensive player doing it, like Terry McLaurin, if that's the same case, that's fine, right? That's fine for the two sides. But then, in my opinion, it puts pressure on other players on their side of the ball that are considered to be in a leadership position. Um, and so, if that's the case, to speak up and say something, right?
mhm,
And if that's the case, right, that's a tough spot to put, a first year quarterback in, a guy who is trending vertically right now, in Jaden Daniels.
mhm,
So, people ask, you hear the whispers, you hear the chirping, right? Like, hey, why doesn't why isn't Jaden Daniels like speaking up for his guy, saying, hey, sign this guy now, right?
mhm.
So, if that is in fact the case, and I think it would put him in a situation that he probably doesn't want to chime in. He doesn't want to be in, and to be quite honest, he doesn't need to be in. But
Yeah,
it is
you're
it
young.
is a sports world. That's where we live, and that's how people see things.
Yeah, yeah. Where you at, Chargers? Go ahead and give Jerry a call, man. Throw something his way. I'll take Micah Parsons.
Hey, speaking of the
Uh,
Chargers, man, I need help in fantasy football, dude. Like, who's the starting running back over there? Is it that rookie?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks like it's gonna be. I always forget his name, man.
It's like
I,
it's
I
like
feel bad.
Omarion or something.
Omarion, like Hamilton or something like that, or whatever this and that. Or
The I I got. I'm letting you know right now.
Chris Lejas in
I
here. Sorry, super late.
Hey,
He's
what's
adult.
going on, Chris?
Yeah, Chris Lejas in here. Actually, it's a little bit of a funny story. He just gave right before we started the show. He gave me a call. He did tell me that he was over at a Target or a Walmart, whatnot, and he came across. He checked out the card aisle, and
Uh huh.
he um he went to go check out the card aisle like we all do. Whenever we
Uh
walk into
huh.
Target, Walmart, we just walk by there and whatever. And he
Uh huh.
noticed, and I hate seeing this, but he noticed that there were some boxes that were open and stuff like that. And then, so he decided that he took them, I guess, up to the customer service and stuff like that, and said,
Mm-hmm.
like, look, these boxes are open. Somebody went through them. Are you willing to? Can I buy them from you? And they actually said no. They were like, no, we
Mm,
return them. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. So, yeah, we got to get my brother on
hey.
here Saturday. Dude got some bangers. Got a John Morant kaboom. I did see that. And a Dr. J dude got it going on. Actually, we were talking about this too. And then I know there's a big, like, I don't even know if it's a game or I'm assuming it's something kind of like Pokemon, but it's called Magic. And it has to deal
I've
with
seen it.
cards. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
cards as well. Apparently, Leja's brother is a big magic or collector, or he plays or something like that. So, when it comes to magic, I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. Um, but we might have him on a future show to explain to us like what's going on and stuff like that. I recently visited a card shop, a new card
Yeah,
shop. I
that that's
popped
that's
my
a
head in.
world that
Yeah, and
uh,
I saw that they were having like magic, magic, magic. I was like, "Do y'all have any sports cards?" And they were like, "No, we do magic only." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, we might have to do that. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Chris. Yeah, it's always good to see you as always. And hey, thanks again. Appreciate it once again for that SAFC game, brother. For those of y'all who don't know, Chris Leha got us a suite to the last SAFC game, and that was my first time ever going out there. It was pretty cool and stuff like that. It was good seeing all the guys. It was good seeing Elias and stuff like that. Uh, Dude has no clue about collecting. He just started buying, and he has hit on some bangers. He's been on a little bit of a roll lately. Has a few cards worth a few hundo. Pulled a Pokemon that's worth like a G, and yep, he has been definitely. He's on a Crystal House Brothers on a little bit of a heater right now. I hope it keeps going, man. He's been Chris has been just he'll text me and he'll be like, "Hey, check this out." He showed me the Kaboom, and I was like, "My goodness!" And he just keeps showing me cards, and I'm like, "Wait, brother's still going?" And he has been on fire, bro. Definitely, definitely. What you got, Anthony? Anthony, can you
Hey
hear me?
guys, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm having some technical issues here. I'm gonna try to
Oh,
jump off and jump back in.
oh, I got you. I got you. So yeah. Anyway, but real quick, yeah. Thanks again to Chris Leha for uh, getting the suite for us for the SAFC game, and it was fun. Got to meet Elias for the first time. I know Rudy Campos was out there. Got to meet Edgar for the first time. Um, it was just tons of fun. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs was out there. It was great, man. I'm really, it was a really good time. I had a ton of fun. Probably making plans to go back out there again. All right. See what else do we have going on. Um, I wanted to see what Anthony wanted to talk about, but yeah, you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll go back, jumping back to see. There was an interesting article out about Tim Duncan and his top five rookie cards that I wanted to bring up to you. Dude pulled up looking like Brody. Now, oh wait, hold on. We got Anthony back. Oh, we're going to have to pause on the Tim Duncan rookie cards. Anthony, can
Hey,
you hear us now?
yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I lost audio. So
No, you're good. You're good.
what I miss?
No, I was gonna jump into a quick story about some uh, Tim Duncan rookie cards, but
Okay.
that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Got Master Joshua's in here. He says, "Sounds like a blast. Cool hang." Yeah, it was. It was good, man. I hope. Hope. Honestly, I hope Chris does it again, so that way we can go back out. I'll get a couple more tickets. To be honest, yeah, it was fun, dude. It was fun. That was like I said. It was the very first. That was my first time being out there, and now that I experienced it, I want to go back. And it's like when you do something for the first time, you're like, oh man, I wish I could have did this or did that, different. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I didn't go hard in the paint or anything like that over
yeah.
there. Maybe next time.
All right. So what else is going on, Jacob? What you got going on this weekend?
uh None much, man. I think we're gonna meet up with my brother. I have to financially recover from this last event. Yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice. It was sitting in the suite, bro. It was good. Just gonna be relaxing. I'm gonna be hanging out with family and friends and stuff like that. I think later on we're gonna put some meat on the grill and stuff like that. See what's going on. Share some pictures. I'm always, for those of y'all follow on X, I'm always at my cousin's house playing video games and stuff like that. If I'm not home, if I'm not at my mom's, I'm at my cousin's house and playing with Puppy. I know Master Joshua keeps telling me he wants me to bring Puppy over to his. Puppy actually turned into a little dog, dude, or a young big dog actually. He's pretty cool, man. He's nice, and his paws are still big, so it looks like he's got a little bit of growing to do. But
Yeah.
yeah, what you got going on?
Um. After we're done here, man, I've got some studying for work. Um. There's a a new environment, a new building that we're putting together, and the data center is getting this ACI system. So I'm wrapping my head around what ACI is, and it's kind of like how people try to um, before they master something, they try to make it unique or their own. Where
Yeah.
you need to really you need to really like master something like the fundamentals of whatever it is that you're doing before you start tweaking it and making it your own. Well, this ACI is just that, right? Like all these different network protocols and ideas and theories have nothing's changed, nothing's been invented, but they've kind of created these lanes and these groupings um, for applications. Sorry, I don't need to go off on a rant here, but but anyway, I just I'm wrapping my head around that stuff, and so I'll probably spend a few hours doing that, and then um, go grab a cigar, and I'm sure while I'm out there, they'll ask me to throw some meat on the grill, and
There you
so
go.
that's probably going to be my weekend. Maybe tomorrow take the girls to
Master,
the pool.
Master Joshua in here. I'm in the mix about a new pup. Just grab it, man. Just grab one. Don't worry about it.
I got four French bulldogs, black. If you're looking for one, Master Josh, I am. We, I am ready to. They're cute, they're adorable. But we got six dogs in the house, and and I get it. The wife is she doesn't want creepos or people that you know want the dogs for other reasons than loving them and taking care of them, and doesn't want creepazoids in the house. So she's very select about um, who comes to look at dogs. So that filters out a lot of people, and then how many. So we still got four puppies in the house,
Yeah.
and they're
Hey,
nonstop.
hey, real quick before we go, I almost forgot. I promised our friend Angel we will be showing off this card, whatever. But this is courtesy of Angel Goody. Uh, Make sure you give him a follow at Goody Fam 3. Uh, he was showing off some heat earlier this week, man. And he showed off this Manu Ginobili lot. It really caught my eye because of the Bowman Manu in the middle. To me, that's one of my Manu grill cards right there. Uh, it's just a really, really nice card. I think it's a 2003 Bowman on card auto. I know Anthony and I was telling Anthony about it. It's just the simplicity of the card. It just looks really, really nice. Manu driving to the basket and stuff like that. But I really, really like it. Make sure you give Angel a follow at Goody Fam 3, man. He was showing some heat earlier this week.
Yeah, those are nice looking cards. The one that catches my attention is that dog tag looking one. If it was an auto, oh,
You might be pulling a
that'd have been
trigger.
nasty.
I did reach out to Angel about that. I was like, man, what are you looking for on that one? What are you looking for on that one? He goes, I'm an English guy when it comes to bulldogs. Had a couple of them, never had a French. I appreciate the open invitation.
All right. Hey, maybe if you change your mind, let me know.
Make a trade or something for one of those banger card. I'll give you this puppy for this. That my new card or something.
Hey, yeah, let me know if you got any Eli Manning rookie autos. Let me know.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up here.
Yeah, man. So yeah. I started thinking about Eli Manning rookies and sort of got sidetracked. Yeah. So we're gonna close up here. Thanks again for watching, guys. Again, I want to send a shout out to MCS Construction. You know, they they help us, you know, stay, do help us do what we love to do, and share our stories. Talk about cars, talk about sports. So again, shout out to Chris and his guys. If you need them, again, the number is 210-774-9155. Um, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Uh, Thanks for watching. Again, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and have a great, safe weekend. We're out of here.
Later, everybody.